Okay. So as always, I promised you that I will show you a few of the AI features that are very practical. So first thing that we will look is how you can actually plan your career. The Google has labs.google, where you have things that usually are still not in production, but are, let's say, experimental features. Unfortunately, I come from a very small country, so most of the things, most of the applications here do not still work in my country, but maybe it will work in France because you are actually now uh, logging from France. So what I would like, as I mentioned, show you is this career planning. Okay, where are you? Uh, Let me see. So these are all Career Dreamer. Okay. So the Career Dreamer is actually what can help you plan your career with the help of AI. Okay. Just look at, uh, you will specify your current position, your skills. Okay. And then it will help you guide what is best for you. Okay. And also write the CV and so on. So this one is very good, especially now that you are applying for internship. Okay. That's why this is very good. The second thing uh, is for buying stuff online. Though I was a little bit surprised regarding the, where are you? Okay, so these are all experimental features. This Doppel, okay? So what you can do is, for example, you can uh, make a photo of you, like a whole body, like this here. And then you get, for example, online when you would like to buy something, and you know that you want to try, it's much different experience if you go to the physical store and then you try and put something on and try it. So here actually you see you can try from a picture. It then can see how a certain, I don't know, maybe a coat or other cloth will look on you. So this is very good if you are a, if you like to shop online. Okay. Then there is also this Opal, who is still not available. Again, not available in. If I click and register, it will say that it is not available in my country. Is it available in France? If you go to Opal,
Yes, it is available in France.
sorry, is it? Is it?
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Lucky you. Okay, so here you can actually create applications. Okay, try this. We will do this with Gemini. In Gemini, uh, I will show this in Gemini, but also you have like this specialized AI experimental features with Google, okay, that you can try. Also, this one, you see, Pomele. I mean, you have so much here that you can use, okay? Also, this learn your way. I mean, again, this is not available in my country. You can just, like upload PDF and it will create everything what you need. It's very similar to what I will show you now, but for example, see like here, skateboard and then like immersive text, you can do everything. I mean, teach. I'm not sure if this again is available. I mean, it's not available in my country, of course, but probably it is available in your country. Is it available in France?
Yes.
Okay, so you can upload, for example, if we look how this it looks, just upload the PDF. Okay, maybe it's still maybe this is because I cannot try it. You see, then you have like slides and narration. You have immerse text. You have audio, and you have mind map. Okay, so for example, you can take my Jupyter notebook, print it as a PDF, and use it here. This is option. Okay. The next thing that I will show you is the Notebook LM. How many of you are familiar with Notebook LM? Can you raise a thumb if you are familiar with, okay, one, two. Okay, so majority of you aren't familiar with Notebook LM. So they are constantly upgrading it. So let's go to Notebook LM. That's also Google's Notebook LM. It's also Google's product. So you see just notebooklm.google.com. Okay. And we will create a new notebook. I will go to Neoma Business School because I already did something. Okay. So here I added source, the website, the Neoma's website. You can of course add any other website. And then it scans the website, not everything, okay? Um, and it gives you the opportunity to communicate with this material. If you are not going with the pro account, you will have the option to upload about, I think it's still 50 different sources. If you have a pro account, you can upload 300 sources. What is positive is that in this case the AI does not hallucinate, okay? Because it will completely only deal with data that is available in the sources that you provide. For example, if you have a book, it will only based answers on book. This book that you provided, not outside, it will not hallucinate. That is a positive side. For example, C, you can create also the audio. Let me see if the audio is created. No, again, the audio doesn't work. Okay, let me then, okay, let me go and where are my videos? Okay, I will put the link to the video from the recording. Mm, so that one. Okay. So let's create a new notebook and I will put in the YouTube video. Okay, insert. So now it's going through video. I can give here, I will give here a title, um, Python Module 1. Okay. So now it went through the video. Okay. So now I can communicate with what was in video. Okay. Let me give here. Would you suggest something else based on the topics um, covered in video? Okay. So, and it will, you see, it actually gives you the citation. Okay. It gives you the citation. So it's not hallucinating, you see? This is all from the video. Of course, then you can create, okay, let's create flashcards, slide deck, quiz, data table, report, I will say study guides, and mind map. Okay. Also, you could do this audio overview, but I don't know why it didn't work before. Okay. So now here I already have a mind map. You are familiar with the mind map. I can, for example, this is all you see based on what is in material. Okay, let me go into the mind map. So syntax formatting. Okay. F strings. Do you remember? We all talked about this. So you have this like a mind map now based on the video that I created, that I recorded. So now look at the advantage. So you have a recorded video. I only uploaded the video of the first group because the content is the same. So there's no, I mean, it doesn't really matter if I go with first group or second group. Okay. Today I will upload yours video so that you will be able to take the YouTube video and put it in the Notebook LM or to the Gemini, and you will be able to go through what we covered. Okay. So this is it. Okay, so here you see now I have a quiz here. This quiz is based on what was talked about the video in the video. So always you can come back and check the stuff. Also the slide deck. Okay, oh, slide deck. So there should be a slide deck. Okay, this is a study guide. See, according to the professor, what are the primary reasons Python is considered a more versatile language for learn than R? Okay, so this was actually done from the video. And here you have answers. Okay, this is the report. Then we mentioned we have the flashcards, like, okay, vanilla distribution C. Okay. Then we have a data table. So this actually creates what, like the summary of all that we covered. Okay, what we have covered. So like in a table. So this is like a really a nice representation. Okay, of what we have covered, and you will do the same with today's recording. So just imagine, see, import as alias, from import, everything is here, everything. Now just tell me, can a single person do better than this? Just imagine having a recording and having this. Do you think there is a chance that a person can do better than the combination of recordings and AI? What is your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, this is really productive. It gives you a different way of learning and different way of understanding things.
Yeah. Yeah. I guarantee you, probably I'm now the first one from on Neoma in Neoma that I'm doing a course in this way. I guarantee you that in 1 year or 2 years, everybody will follow the same path because this is the only reasonable path. Okay, and you will see. I mean, definitely, I am definitely confident that this will happen. Okay, let me see if there is anything else. No, actually, the audio overview is still uh, in progress. We will come back later and see whether this will be uh, done. Sometimes it has problems, by generating audio. So what will happen? Actually, two persons. Actually, the podcast will happen. Two persons will talk about the content that we have covered. And not only that, you can always jump into the discussion. Okay? So you can always jump. So two persons will talk about the content that we have covered, and then you can just click join in, and you will be like in a radio show, like, oh, there is a new listener. We ask, what would you like to say? And then you say, well, can you talk about, okay, let me see if this will work now. No, it just doesn't produce any sound. I don't know why. If I download, okay, let me see if I downloaded it.
Welcome back to the deep dive.
Yes.
Today we're cutting right to the front of the classroom.
Can you hear it?
On the opening lecture of a master's level course in Python and data science.
Yes.
And this really isn't your typical university course.
Not at all.
Our mission today is to unpack how these AI co-pilots, tools like GitHub Copilot and Google Gemini, are completely changing the game.
It's a total paradigm shift.
It is. We're moving away from memorizing code and moving towards mastering the tools that write and debug the code.
So here, when you have this interactive, okay, you could, like, jump in, but now it doesn't work. I don't know why.
He's a heavy programmer, statistician, but he also has serious private sector experience.
Right, that big French.
Okay, now they are talking about me.
And his whole philosophy is just so pragmatic. He teaches exactly what the market demands. It just
Okay.
cuts out all these things.
So you can, like, just try everything you can put in, and okay. Now let's go to the content. Okay. Let's go to Google Colab.
Professor, sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
Is there any way, any tools or AI is going to help us to make API-based app easily?
Well, I mean, if you have like Gemini or GitHub Copilot and you do the wipe coding, you just say, please, I would like to create a web API application, and it will do it.
Okay.
It will do it. For example, all of my applications are actually using the APIs. And two of my applications are actually APIs for other stuff. Okay. So
Okay.
again, vibe coding, you just have to understand a little bit of um, what you're doing or trying to achieve. Okay. So we will go through. I mean, next week I will show you how you can approach to this problem, tackle the problem. Okay, let's go to Google Colab and upload the second module. Today we will talk about two fundamental objects in Python. Okay, let me just change this to English. Okay, English. So we will talk about and run the first the first cell with code. Okay. So that one. Okay. So today we will talk about two important objects in Python. Two objects that actually are the fundamental for data science and for frameworks, for data frameworks, data frames. Okay. One of them is list. This is not the same as a list in R. So if we go back to R and remember which is the fundamental object in R. Elise, how do I pronounce your name, Miss Berger?
It's alias.
Elise, what is the most fundamental object in R? It starts
It's
with a yes?
vector.
Yeah, true. So it's vector. So here it's list. The difference is that vector in R has to have the same type, is the same type. So all the elements have to be of the same type. So for example, if you combine first string and then numbers, the numbers will be implicitly converted to strings in R. In list, in Python, you can combine different data types in one list. Okay, so for example, you can have a Boolean, you can have integer, you can have decimal, and strings. It doesn't really matter. You can combine them all. So in R, you define a new empty vector with C and the brackets. Here, you just use the square brackets. Okay, the square bracket. This is the most fundamental object in Python. So here, for example, I have a list of students. You see, I'm only using the square bracket. And then just, like with commas, I list the elements inside of my list. I can go with numbers. You see, here I am mixing different data types. So integer, string, float, and Boolean. This is the way how I define empty lists. So as I mentioned in R, you go with C, means combine, and normal brackets, okay? If I run it, I get back the elements, and the len actually shows me how many elements are in the list, okay? Not the length like in R, the len. So the number of elements in a vector in R, you will use length. Do you remember? Here we are using len. So how do we actually create a list? As I mentioned, just square brackets and put in what you have to put in. Nothing special. So here we have fruits, numbers, whatever you want, okay? So why are the lists useful? Because you can do many operations and you can do many data manipulation. And also because lists are the essential part of the dictionary, which is the essential part of a data frame. Okay, so for example, if you take a single column from a table, which has a column name and the rows, okay, column name is actually everything together is a dictionary, and the rows are actually the lists, okay? You will see later when we will put all together how this actually comes into the data frame, which is, as I mentioned, the most important object for data science. You can do many operations in lists. For example, here you can use you can just use the sum function, the len function. In this case, you can calculate the averages, you see mean, max. You can do formatting. Okay, let me run it. Okay, do you still remember what kind of a string is, what kind of a print is this? How do we call this? I will ask Priyanka, how do we call this kind of prints? Priyanka, are you here? Okay, a word. What about Valentin? What do you say?
It's called F strings.
S strings, yes. So F strings, as we mentioned last time, so that you don't bother with converting different types into a strings, you just use F strings and you can put, like without any troubles, in curly brackets, you can use the variables. So this is the best way to go. Now we will do the subsetting. This is actually almost the same as subsetting elements objects in R. The only difference is that in Python we start counting with 0. So the first element is not 1, I mean like subsetting and then the number 1, but it is the number 0. Okay, so this is like fruits 0, it's actually the first element, it's apple. First one is a banana. This will really bother you for some time, probably all the time, because if you will switch between R and Python, like in R, we count normally from 1 upwards, and Python we start with 0. So sometimes, it's you have to be careful. For example, you will see when you specify the interval from this to that. Okay, give me element from number 2, which is the third element, okay, to number 6, which is then not included in the upper bound. I will show this on the example so that you will see. Then, of course, you can count from backwards. So you can say -1, -2, -3, -4. This is not something that is in a base R, not that I'm aware of, but you can use this in tidyverse you have in Stringer package. It is available, so that you can also say, I would always like to get the last element of my list, and you would say -1. That you will not, for example, the manual way how you could get the last element is, if I would say fruits, fruits, and then, okay, so again, my keyboard, you would have to get the len, okay, of fruits. -1. Because we start counting by with 0, okay? So this is the way how actually you get back the last element, let's say in manual traditional way, the length, the number of all elements, -1 because you start with 0, okay? I mean, -1, yeah. It's better in that case to just use like fruits -1, okay? Much faster. Much faster. So really be careful when you will subset that you take into account that the 0 is actually the first element.
It can be
Probably
duplicate, right?
Sorry?
List can be duplicate, right?
Yes, yes. Let me check it. I think that not. Okay, let me show it. Oh, it is. It's the tuple, I think. This is a tuple. Now I'm jumping to another session. You can have the same. No, but still. Definitely the set, okay? If you are using the set, then this does set. Okay, so how is set? Okay, let me just explain error. Sets are, yeah, so you see the sets cannot have duplicate elements. They create distinct values. Why set isn't working as I... No, 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 no. I would like to create a set, not a list. Or is it with capital S? Okay. Okay, wait for him to, let's wait for him to finish. Set, okay, yeah. So it should be like set and then like this. And this gives you the distinct values of the fruits. Okay. So now see. Set cannot have duplicates, duplicates, okay? Now let's look at the if statement here. For example, this is just for to be on a safe side when you would like to, for example, subset and you go out of the scope, out of index. So how does also the if statements, for loops, while statements work in Python? So if you are in R, now I will create R code, which will not work because so in R, you would do something like that, okay? I will not bother with the len, just with the brackets, okay? So you have to put this into the brackets and then you have curly brackets with curly brackets, you actually define starting point and ending point of a list of commands that are part of, for example, of the if statement. You could have here many more, and they could be like this. It doesn't really matter. They could be like that. Okay, and they would still be part, whatever is inside of the curly brackets is still part of the if of this condition here, okay? So if this one is true in R, then whatever is inside of these curly brackets will execute. And again, here when I would have else, and again, curly brackets. Like this. Okay. So you define what is under a certain if or else if with brackets in R. In Python, you define this with tabs or spaces, okay? So you see here, I'm giving, how do you call this in English? Help me. Not semicolon, colon. Is it colon? Yes, it is. Okay, put it column and then you have to specify it with tabs. Okay, so if I put it like this, this is not treated. You see that I get here error. This is treated on the same level as the if statement. So this is completely independent. In that case, this print is completely independent of the if statement. If I add one tab, that means that print is now under this if statement. You get it? And if I would have here another print, for example, if, okay, len, or I would say len from fruits is, where do I have it? Okay. Oh, here. No? Okay, we'll just copy. I will definitely change my keyboard. Like 6, okay? So in that case, if I put it like this, to which command does this print fruits free belong to? To this one or this one? So to line number 1 or line number 2? I will ask chain.
Line 1,
Hello?
Professor.
Sorry?
Line number 1.
Yes. Okay, so if I call your name, please respond. Okay, that would be nice. Okay, so yeah, in that case, to line number 1, if I put it like this belongs to line number 2, and line number 2 belongs to line number 1. Okay, so with tabs, that's why some people do hate Python because of this. Because you have to be very strict regarding the tabs or for spaces. I don't know if anyone will use spaces. I definitely suggest you that you go with tabs instead of spaces. And once you decide for one way, okay, stick to it. Do not combine sometimes spaces, sometimes tabs. Probably you will get also an error if you will combine spaces and tabs. Stick to one format. Okay, is this clear? Surya, you said no.
No, it says.
It
I
is.
said yes.
Okay. So when you are modifying list, it is the same as in R. For example, in that case, I have a fruits list, and I am changing which item here. So I am telling the Python, please change whatever you have on which place, first or second, or first or second.
As you said that it is going to start from 0, so it will be the second one.
Second one, so it will change banana, not apple. Okay, it will change banana, not apple. So instead of banana, we are assigning blueberry. Okay, now run it. So you see, instead of banana, we have blueberry. As I mentioned, this will bother you for some time with this 0, that you start with 0, definitely. Okay. So how can you slice? We already talked about. For example, I will change this here to 1 to 10, so that this will be much that we'll understand. Okay. So output is already done. Okay, let me. So in that case, Xiong Chaunlin, what will we get? Which numbers will we get with the first comment? Can you please respond?
2, 3, and 4?
No.
3, 4?
3, 4, and
5.
5?
5. Yes, because it starts with 3, then this is the second, so this one is this one, okay? Because this is the third element, okay? Then the number 3 is actually the fourth element. The number 4 is actually the fifth, the number, no, the number 2 is the third element, the number 3 is the fourth element, and the number 4 is the fifth element, and the upper limit is not inclusive, it's exclusive, okay? It's not included. What about, okay, so this one is self-explanatory. So first 4 items. So which one? 0, 1, 2, 3. 4 is not included. Okay. So the 0, which is the first one, 1, which is the second one. Okay, you always have to, like add 1, 1, 1. Okay, so what about this one? I will ask La Barenoa. I hope that I pronounced your.
Yes, it's Labar, but it doesn't matter.
Aha.
You start from the 6 character. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 6 to the
No,
end. No?
no. 6 is actually what in Python? Sixth element is which element?
0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 7. So
Seventh, yes. So you start here, okay, and then you go till the end, okay. So yeah, I mean, you will have to get used to, like this 0 stuff in Python. So here, for example, this one is simple because it goes -3. As you remember, if you go here, so -1, 1, -2, -3. So it goes from -3 till the end. Okay, it's probably it would be, like better to start with minus because you get rid of, because from in reverse way you don't have 0, okay? You always have -1, not the -0. Okay. This one is this one is every element, but every second. So all elements are included, okay? So with this, you see, you include, so if I omit this part, you include all elements from first to the last, okay? But then I add this additional parameter. That means every second. Okay, so I go 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, okay? And this one is reversed, okay? So I could go from, let's say, from 0 to 5, which elements? Xiong Chaunlin. So which elements are this one? Please respond. Okay. Jasmine, will you help me? Jasmine? No. Prince Joseph, will you help me? You already unmuted yourself, so just say something.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
So, which elements in this case, and how will they be printed? 0 to 5 minus 1.
Mm. Well, um, is it like -4?
No, no. Okay, so if we go start 0 is actually the first element. The fifth, yes, Robin, I think that Robin, you lifted.
Yes, it was me. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay,
I can.
perfect. Is it going to display 5 or
No.
no? Okay, then I didn't get it. Okay, sorry.
Who does know? Who knows it?
I think it is not going to print.
Professor, would it be 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1?
Okay, Elise, you raise your hand.
Yes, it's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and 5. No?
Professor, may I?
Yes.
So it is saying that it is going to print from 0 to 5, but it is backward. So
Yeah,
we don't have
but
nothing.
yeah, but it brings the minus. It returns the empty one. Okay, which
Yeah.
is strange. Okay, it should be.
So backward means no.
Okay, so yeah, so definitely, if I go with this, I will not use the function that is for reverse. I would do this in reverse like this. I would say like first 4 elements, and I would say like this. Okay, and then how would I reverse them? Oh, this new keyboard. Okay, like this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now I will ask Gemini. I know that there is a method of the list that can actually reverse, but I will ask Gemini, is there any other method, more optimal method, without using the method from list to actually do these operations? Okay, until it thinks, we will go further. Okay, so then we have 2 very important functions, methods. One is append and one is extend. Okay, yeah, but I said not the reversed. I wanted him to. No, then it also gives me the list comprehension. No, actually, apparently you can't do it with just with brackets. Yeah. Okay, apparently you have to go like this. Okay. Then we have two very important methods, append and then extend. Okay? Now look, we have fruits apple and banana. Okay? These are the elements of the list. Okay? And then before, okay, we have only apple and banana. And then we append cherry. And then you will see what we have after we append cherry. And then we will also append date, okay? And we will look what we have in our... Okay, so see, first we start with two elements and then we add cherry and then we also add date, okay? When is this useful? You will use this a lot of times, especially when you will manipulate with data. For example, you will create a loop, and in a loop you will do, okay, in a for loop you will do something, okay? You will do something and then you will add the results to a list, okay? So what I mean by this? Let me for, okay, let's say number in, let's go range 1 to 10, okay? We know that we can create empty list, let's say squared numbers, okay? And I will say append number on 2, okay? So what is going on here? So I'm creating an empty list. I am going through why 1 not 0? Because 0, why 1? So if I would go like this, okay, let's go like this, okay? And you will see. So you see 0 and the last one is 9. So if you want to go from 1 to 10, how should I put here the comments from 1 to 10? What should I put inside of the brackets here?
One column 10, Professor.
No, this will be, oh, I already gave you the answer. So this is from 1 till 9, because the upper bound is not, bound is not included. So from 1 till 11, okay? So it goes empty list, and then it goes from the range. Okay, so what is very similar in R? Which function compared to range starts with the letter S?
Sequence.
Yes, yes. Actually, it's just SEQ. Do you remember? Okay, sequence. Okay, so we go and we append, okay, the numbers. So you see, this one, you are appending every number to a list in a loop. Do you understand this part? Because this will be very, very important in the future manipulations. Do you understand this? Carol, you look so worried. Do you understand it?
Yeah, I understand.
Uh-huh, okay. Then the other is extend, and now you will see the difference. Okay, for example, if I create here list 1 and say cherry and banana, and then the list 2, I will say apple and date. Okay, now you see, I'm having two lists, okay, and I'm using the append. If I run this, and now if I do change this a little bit, okay, I will just copy this. And I will use extend. Okay. Do you see the difference? And Giramelli Leo, can you tell me what the difference is? So what do we get in the first example, and what do we get at the second example? Giramelli Leo. Okay, no response. Liao Yu Xuan, can you tell me what is the difference if you look at the object?
You add the date.
Yeah, but if you look at the result, okay, look, this one is in the first example, and this one is the second example. Do you see any difference?
Yes.
And this difference is?
You add the quote.
No, the quotes are also here. The brackets.
Yeah.
And what does this mean? This means that this is a nested list. Okay, so this second list was actually added as another list. So we have a list inside of a list, nested list. So this is then problematic when you are trying to, you have to unnest it, okay? In the example of extend, okay, you can add many elements at once, and they will be, and you will not create a nested list. Okay, so the first example, actually the second one is actually done like, if I take, okay, I will start like this. Okay. I will go for element in list 2. I'm adding every single element to the list 1. Okay. So instead of writing a for loop and adding single element to list 1, I'm using the extend function. Clear? Okay. So we have the extend. Okay. This one is also sometimes very useful, the pop. We are removing an element. Okay. So if we do not provide any argument, this will remove the last element from a list. So in this case, we have fruits, and we said fruits dot pop. We get the last element, you see? So remove this, the last element, and then we look at the fruits. You will see what we get. So you see, we removed date, and the fruits list is actually now without date, with pop. Okay, so sometimes you will, I don't know, you will do something with the last element, and then you would say, okay, now I don't need it, just remove it. So for example, if you, I don't know, do some kind of data management in a loop, this happens. Okay, this happens. If you are using the index, then you are popping the element. So in that case, because I have one, which is actually two, second one, I am removing banana. Okay, I am removing banana from what I have here. So at the end, I only have apple and cherry. Apple and cherry. Okay. Okay, so we will not. We also have there, but we will not use. Usually we go with pop and so on. Okay, so again, we talked about the counting and we talked about the sorting and the reverse. Okay, so you don't have to do -1. You can do just like reverse true. So how would you now? Okay, do you remember we had okay, let's go. It was somewhere it was okay, it was this one. Okay, so I will put it here. So I can say numbers and then from first to to fifth. Okay, and then I can say sort, say reverse, not reverse equal to true. Okay. And now I have to print it because you can, you have to print out, print numbers. Okay, this isn't the best idea. I should, okay, why this isn't actually, why this isn't okay? Okay, so definitely you have to as do the temp list, okay, numbers, and then using the sort. Sort modifies original list, okay? And in that case, I have to do this subsetting to my other list and then put the sorting. Temp list sort reverse to like this. So that is very similar to what we actually did here, okay? Which syntax do you prefer? This one or sort dot reverse? It is a little bit different, okay? It is a little bit different. Why? Because these elements here are not sorted. Okay, they are not sorted. They are just printed out in a reverse way. Reversed way, okay? These elements here are actually sorted, you see? So they are sorted. This is now a fact. Okay? They change internally. Before they just printed out in one way, now they are sorted internally. They are saved in a sort way. Do you understand the difference? If I still now call first for elements, they will be still in the ascending order, okay? First for elements. See? Still in ascending order because they are not sorted. But when you use sort and sort, this is stored in a list, in a variable. This is the difference. Okay, we are now really getting in a technical way, okay? So here also you see you have sorted and sort. This is actually what I was just talking about. So sort modifies the list in place and returns none, okay? It just does it internally. Sorted returns a new list and it leaves the original unchanged. Just like that with 2 columns and -1. Okay, so it's sorted original. This is the difference. Okay, do you understand? One is once you use sort, you actually already save then the sorted element, sorted list again back in that variable. With sorted or with -1, you are just displaying things in a sorted way, but you are not changing actually internally the order of the elements. That is the difference. Do you get it? Are you tired? Should we have a break? Okay. Let's have a break for 15 minutes. Okay. So we talked about a list. Here you have, like the most important methods. Again, when you will have this video, you will be able to use this video as the basis for your summary and further investigation into the topics. Again, full of exercises. Okay, please do exercise, really. I mean, you also have here the solutions of the exercises, so just do them. And now we go to dictionary. Okay, so the dictionary is object where list can be part, but it's not necessary. Sometimes, for example, like in this case, when we have person, you see we have a name. This is called the key. And then we have a value like Alice. Name, key, key value, key value, key value, key value. Okay? And the key is always one. So you cannot have, like here, comma, and then something else, okay? The key is always one. That's like the ID of the whole data series. On the other hand, values can be part of list. So for example, if I would have here like Alice and John, you see I get an error if I write it like this. What do you think I should do?
Brackets to make it list.
Yes. Exactly. Like this. So you see, I am creating now a list. Okay, let's say 30. Hmm. Bien, c'est okay. And the last one, false, let's say true. Okay, so now we'll call this persons because there are many persons, not only one. So here a list becomes part of dictionary. And now if you look abstractly of this list, on this list, what do you see? I mean, what can this be easily converted to? To what? If you say that the key is actually a column name and the lists are the rows, what do we get?
It's a data table.
Data frame, yes.
Yeah, data frame.
So you see, list, dictionary, data frame. Okay? So that is the way to go. So that's why we started with the list. So here we have key and values. Okay, so now let's run it. Okay, so you see name has Alice and John, age, and blah, 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 and so on, so on, so on. Okay? The most important methods in dictionaries are three. The first one is the keys. Okay, so we can get all the keys. That's like getting all the column names out of the data frame. If I would like to get all the keys, I would get name, age, city, and students. Okay, that's just like in data frame, I would say data frame dot columns. I would get the keys out. On the other hand, I can get the values out, the values of a certain key. I can also get the items out. So the pair name and the key and the value. The key, the value, the key, the value. Okay? So what can keys be? So you see strings, numbers, tuples cannot be list, dictionaries, any mutable type. Okay? So this is a tuple, but I mean, I wouldn't actually do it like this because it's getting confusing. What do you think? Is this confusing? I would say that this is confusing. Okay, but list can't be keys. Okay, so this is valid. Okay, we already know that this is name Alice 42, answer, and tuple coordinates. Tuples are usually used where we cannot change things in runtime. For example, as parameters in user-defined functions or in classes, okay? You have tuples. You define a function and say in tuple x and y, okay? How do you access values? Very simple. You do the subsetting. You can subset dictionary when specifying instead of, like the place, you specify the name of a key. So in that case, for example, when I say person, okay, now I have persons, okay? Let me go with persons. You will see what we get. Oh, no, actually, it's defined right here. Okay, my bad. Like this one. So you get, you're subsetting the name key from the person, that is Alice. Is this clear? You're subsetting age. Does this remind you about something? In R. Do you remember named list in R? No? For example, in R, you can specify, let's say list 1. You can say list. Okay, and you specify the name of the element. Okay, the name of the element. And then say, for example, C, John, and Jane. Okay, and then the element B, male, female. Okay.
It is my list, right?
Sorry?
It is my list, right? In R.
I didn't get you.
It is my list, right? In R.
Yeah. So, and then, for example, when you would subset, you would use what? Which character? Like this one. $, and you are calling a name, okay? So you are subsetting this by name. This is the same as here, you see? You are subsetting, so you have a dictionary, and you are subsetting by the key. So, though R and Python are different, they are similar on the other hand, okay? They are similar. There are differences like in syntax, but still you can see, I mean, of course, if you have a programming language of the same generation, or I mean, R is much older than Python, you know, like the principles, the functions, the way how things are done are actually taken from different languages, the predecessor languages. So that's why there are similarities. So this is the way how you will subset dictionary. Just imagine getting a big dictionary or a JSON file. That's very similar. So when you have a JSON file, do you know what a JSON file is? Have you ever had the JSON file?
Yes, actually.
Okay, I will say to Gemini, please create one simple JSON file with 3 students as elements. Okay, so JSON file is like industry standard. So when you will work in practice in private sector, if you will be data scientist, be prepared that you will get data in a JSON format. Not like simple text files. No. As a JSON files. Now look at this one. This is a JSON file. What do you see? What do you see? Tell me. Which 2 objects? I mean, if you look this from the perspective of Python, okay, what do you see?
It's a dictionary. It's comes with key and values.
So yeah, this one is definitely dictionary, okay? You see? In a JSON file. So you get the ID, name, age, and major, okay? And this is all put in a list. You see? This is part of the list. So this is actually the first element, the second element, and the third element. And okay, this is now called the JSON file, okay? But let me just, if we have, okay, let's pretend you get this kind of file as a data scientist. Now you have to, for example, extract all the majors.
So with ID number, we can extract.
So how would you, for example, let's say, how would you approach to a problem that you would have to extract? Let's do it by the simplest way without any tricks, because there are, but let's go with a simple approach. How would you extract all the majors and put them as a list to a list? For example, I would define here majors, and I will define this as empty list. And I would like to fill this. Okay. We already have it. Okay. So the solution is already there. Maybe it's listening to our conversation. So you see, I will go through every student, because this is one student, second student, third student, okay? So I will go from student in student's data. I will subset, okay? I will get the key, the value for the key major. Is that reasonable? So this one extracts. So once I have a dictionary like this, okay? This is a student, okay? So I extract major as student, and then major. Do you agree? If I have one, I get it like this. Okay, let me extract this. Put it like this. You see, I get a computer science. Okay, is this clear? Furia, Yaskvi, is this clear? No response. Okay. Now here, if I don't go with this one, if I only print student, okay, I'm only printing student, the whole student. Like this. Okay, so you see, this is the first student, the second student, and the third student. Okay? And once I get each student, I am just applying this. So I am getting major for every student. Okay, I should write print. Like this. I'm getting, so for this student, I am subsetting that one, for this, that one, that one. And I'm then appending these two majors, okay? A list. And I'm getting, so for example, when I get this data set, a JSON file, okay, I can extract things like this. Now, I will say to create more complex JSON files with 5 students. Make it complex. Okay, now let's try and how we would tackle the problem of more complex JSON. You will get, believe me, you will deal with JSON files in your line of work. You will. That's a fact. That's a fact. Okay. This one is much more complex. For example, what do we have here? We have here complex students data, okay? So still, this is a student, okay? Look at this. This is a student, and this is a student, and student. So we have what? 6 students, okay? Do you agree that we have 6 students in this case? Do we concur? Okay. So let's go with the first. How would we extract all the last names? Okay, start again. Simple. Let's go with for students in a complex student data. Okay, I will just print out. Okay, let's go to the next one, code. And I will just print, I will like this. Okay. I set print comp. Students data. Am I blind or? Control enter. Complex students data, print students. Okay. So let's work on one of, okay, I will take this one and say this is a student. Okay, now let's start with, so we have to come to the last name. So first I will call what? Noah. What should I subset first? So as a first part towards, so that I would get to the last name.
It's a good question. So yes, you will look in the name.
The name. Okay. Now let's look at the name. Okay. So what do we get after we subset the name? So what is the object type in that case? What is this? List or dictionary?
It's a dictionary.
Yes. So what do we do? What is our next subsetting after we get that? So what do we do to get the last name?
Last.
Yes, like this. You see? now I got also back the Adams. So if I go here, okay, so if I will write last name, so the AI will already take care of everything. So I will say last append student. Okay, it's already now, it's already done. So you see, now Smith, Johnson, Brown, Prince, Adams. Okay, do you get it? Okay, now let's try. Okay, let's try to get the grades. All the grades. So let's say the name of a student and the grades. So we would like to change. Okay, this would be a little bit more complex. We would like to change this to a dictionary where we would have names and only the grades. Okay, so the names are here. I could make them, for example, look like first, and then plus students' names last. Okay. So we get Eve Adams. So what about the grades? We get student.
Courses.
So we get contact. So we get courses. Okay. Courses. And now, if I only go like this, I will get back. What is this? Which object type is this? Squared brackets is what?
List.
List. So do I have, okay, let me see. 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay, everyone has 2 courses. So I can say courses, and then I will take the first element, and from the first element, okay, I could do this in for loop or something else. I will take grade. Do you agree? It's B, you see? And I will add it like plus, comma, grade, the second course, okay? So I have now the name of the students and the grades. Okay? So if I would go and I would like to create a dictionary, this will be an empty dictionary. Okay, let me just copy this. And I will say simple students. Okay. Now okay, now it's already trying to do something. No, this is not something that I want. Okay, let's go up where I have the code so that I will just Why dictionaries adding no, probably this would be, I don't know if it would be best to create a list, nested list, or probably for I will just based on the complex dictionary, we will create a simple dictionary where we will extract first and last name as name and the course grades as grades. Okay. Now wait for simple students. Okay, still wants to go with student ID. So the student, no, that's not what I would like. Make this as a simple dictionary, only with a whole name, full name, and grades. Okay, like this. Yeah, it's trying to actually changing this to, okay, this is more complex, yeah. So again, it's creating a list. So this full name is okay, grade list is okay. So this is again, you see, it's doing the join instead of the plus, okay? So you can do the join instead of the plus, and then it's creating the full name, grade. Yeah, it's actually creating here a list, and then just at the end, creating a simple dictionary like this one, full name. So we have, this is still JSON, just to be clear. So we have name Alice Smith, grades AA, and then A minus, B plus. Does she have 3? Yeah. Okay, so you see, this one works for all of them. Yeah. Okay, so this one is much more complex. Okay, maybe my example was too complex for your knowledge. We go through every student in complex data. We extract full name. This is clear, isn't it? So this is clear, this part. Is it? Then we actually, this is a list comprehension. This is not something that I would, okay, I will say, don't use list comprehension. Do a regular for loop. Okay, let me accept. So every student full name. Then we have grades because students can have different number of grades. I didn't actually see that the first student has 3 grades. So we go through every course, so through all courses, and then we extract the grade. Okay? And this is what is actually new. So, for example, let me show you what this means. This actually takes, so here the grade list will be, this is a list, and if we want to change this into a string, we can use this join. Okay, so how does this look in practice? Now I will show it to you. Students equal, now let me create John, Jane, Bob, okay? So I cannot use this as string. So if I want to use this as string, I will just say double quote, comma, okay? If I want to have then additional space, and then I will say join. So join them. Students, okay? So you see, now this is a string. You see the difference? Let me print this out. And print students, okay? List. This is still a list, you see? And when I use this join, that is something like if I would use in R paste, and then I would say collapse and with comma. Did you do this? So paste actually gives you can with paste, like you can concatenate strings in R. And when you use collapse, then you put them all together as one string, not as vector anymore, but as a one string. And this is the same here, but you have to use, so this is like a collapse. I'm using the comma. I could go, I don't know, maybe with semicolon, okay? And so I will get semicolon here. You see, I get semicolon, semicolon. I could go with, I don't know, pipe. Okay? This is just the collapse. In R, you are using the collapse. Here, you're using with what you want to concatenate, how you concatenate strings. So, you concatenate the grades for one student, okay? So then you have full name and the grades, and you create a new dictionary, list of dictionaries again. I know that this one was, let's say, more advanced example, but I guarantee you will work with JSON files. You will encounter them. Please, please, please. When you will encounter the first JSON file in your internship, please write me and say you are right, okay? Definitely you will write with JSON files. I know that this is a lot to comprehend, but still, sometimes you have to do it. I had to learn all this by myself, okay? Only by watching tutorials and trying, so before I understood everything. So now you have everything. Now you did the simplification of a complex structure. Okay, you did the simplification of a complex structure. And then you could just, add this into a, I don't know, maybe to a data frame. So yeah. But there would be a problem. Why this would be a problem for a data frame? This is also true in R. Okay, this is a data science. This is a tidy principle. Why would be a problem? First, I have two problems. I see two problems. When you want to have a data tidy, what does actually the term tidy data mean? That means that one cell only consists or stores or saves one value. Okay? So this is not okay because one cell would have more than one value. On the other hand, if we put this into every separate cells, then the Alice Smith would have 3 rows and Bob Johnson would have 2 rows. So you know what happens when you try to create a data frame out of different lengths of lists or vectors, you will get an error. Okay, so you would have to either fill in the blank. So you would have to say, okay, for that course, Bob Johnson doesn't have grade, and also the Charlie Brown. Okay, all of the, so if you want to change this into a data frame, you have to have the same number of rows. Not that, for example, for one student you have 3 rows and for the second one you have 2 rows. Okay, this doesn't work. Was this explained to you? It was or not?
No.
Okay, you will get an error. Also in R you will get an error. So they have to be of the same length, the same number of rows. But for the course that doesn't exist, you would have NaN, not a number, or NA, not available, okay? Or null. Do you know what a null actually means? Was this explained to you? Is null equal to empty? Because sometimes you will get data where you have a lot of nulls. N-U-L-L.
No, null stores some value.
No, null is something that we don't know. Okay? So we don't know. Maybe it exists, but we don't know. Maybe it exists, but we don't have it. Or it doesn't exist. We just don't know. And with null values, you have special operations. So something that we don't know is not equal to something that we don't know. So null is not equal to null, okay? Because something that you don't know is not equal to something that you don't know. With nulls, we will do this. You did with NA values. So Professor Balash told you about missing values. Okay, you have to deal with them, okay? But let's continue. Okay, so is this difficult? How difficult was this to understand? So that we went through very complex data structure that actually just a number of a combination of lists and dictionaries and lists. How difficult was this? Very difficult.
Oh, it was readable and understandable.
Because if you look on the internet, JSON files, okay, let's say example of JSON files, okay? Voila, this is the way how you will get data usually in your line of work, you see?
In like what I know, like in my last internships I was working there, Salesforce and HubSpot supposed to communicate with each other through API, so there was JSON files used.
Yeah, JSON files were actually you got from the API the JSON file probably.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we were using the Power Automate, so there was no much code. It was
Yeah.
made up.
Okay, so Windows Power Apps or what? What did you
Power
use?
Automate.
I'm not familiar with that kind of.
It is
this-
Microsoft ecosystems apps, just drag and drop kind of
it's
API.
Power App, yeah. Isn't it just Power App? Apps? Okay, yeah.
Power App, Power Automate.
Yeah. That's like Make.com's Zapier or NA10. but it's just in Microsoft ecosystem, yeah, the
Yeah,
automation.
Microsoft ecosystem.
Yeah.
No, not much code, just drag and
Yeah,
drop.
no, yeah, I agree. But you are much faster if you are working with code, okay? So again, example of JSON syntax. Again, you see here. So now you would be able to extract hobbies. I'm pretty sure that now you can extract hobbies from this hello Frida JSON files. Okay, let's do this. Okay. Okay, let me go here. I will just say test. Okay. Okay, is there not test? Friends name Frida. Okay, what seems to be the problem with name true is not defined? Oh yeah, capital true, and then then here I would have to say np and numpy.null. Okay. Any other errors? Okay, Jen, just say is null. I think it's is null then, no? Then na10 doesn't really matter. Okay, now we have it. Okay, so now this is true. This is okay. So how would you get out the all the hobbies of the friends of Frida? Okay, let's start. And we would subset this as what? What should be the first thing that we should subset? Which key?
Name.
No, actually,
Then we can do friends. If we
yes, friends. Friends. Okay, so now we get what? If you look at this, what is this? With what kind of object? Square bracket.
list.
Yes, okay, so I will say for friend in friends. Okay? Like this. Do you agree? Now we have what? Hobbies. So I will say friend. Hobbies. Print. Voila. Okay. So what can we do? We can create here hobbies, empty list. Okay, because here we will get back list. What should we use? Append or extend?
Extend.
Okay, hobbies. Okay, if we would get, for example, here we get this is already distinct, and then we could just, if we want to get like, okay, I will say like this. Again, set, okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, okay, this one closes, this one closes. So for example, if I would add here, again, reading, okay. You would get a reading only once. So at the end, you could say that these are distinct hobbies of Frida's friends. So this is your analysis. How difficult was this? Elise,
Yes, it's okay for me.
is it okay?
Yeah,
Is it something that you already practice?
a little bit, but not extend and not the dictionary, but the other at the beginning of the course, yes.
Okay, so will this help you?
Yeah.
Okay, I hope. So you can always, for example, add me on the LinkedIn profile if you want. And you can always, for example, when you will be in, as I already mentioned in the first module, you can always contact me if you want some help once you will be in your internships. Okay, so I will be glad to help. Okay, let's go further. So we did this join. Okay, this is very important. Now let's okay, so we are now a little bit behind. We still have 23 minutes. So the important methods of the dictionaries are keys, values, and items. So the keys will return. So here we see we have name, age, and city. The keys will return all the keys. Okay, so I get name, age, and city. The values return the values. This is again what, if you look, this is actually a list of values, not just the values, okay? And the items return the couples, okay? So you can see name Alice, age 28, city Ljubljana, okay? We already did this, so we went through the loops, okay? So through both most useful, for example, here we have, if you go through the items, yeah, that's something that is, for example, very good in dictionaries. So you can actually, it's not, for example, in R you go only with one. Here you can simultaneously go through two different columns. For example, also in data frame, I'm going through the key, I'm going through the values, okay? When I get the person items back, I get back the name and the Alice and the age and the 28 and the city and Ljubljana, and then I just print this, okay? Nothing special here. This one, I mean, you will not encounter this a lot of times. Nested dictionaries, we already covered this, so we did this quite extensively. You have here the solutions. Now we talked about the conditionals, so we will not spend a lot of time here. So we have if, and then you just have to be careful that you specify that you use tab or four spaces. As I already mentioned, you cannot combine them, you will get an error. Just go with one philosophy, one approach, and I definitely suggest you that you go with tabs, not with spaces, okay? You can use if else. Okay, we also spoke about that. And you have if elif. So instead of, like else if, instead of like this, you can write elif, short for else if. Okay, so you are giving more than two possible outcomes, so three or more. So for example, here I have a score of IT 5. I'm checking whether the score is greater or equal to 90. This is true. The grade is A. And if it is not, I'm checking whether the score is less than 90, but equal or greater to 80, okay? So it cannot be, yeah, this is important. For example, when it checks this condition here, okay, if this is false, then if you go to another, so to this condition, you already know that it is not greater, equal or greater than 90. So if you say only greater and equal to 80, you don't have to write like score equal or greater than 80 and score less than, I don't know where I have the less. Okay, you know what I mean. So no, no. Okay. I will just say less than 90, okay? You don't have to write this again here. Why? Do you know why? Alvlaya, have I pronounced your name correctly?
Yes, it's Alavia.
Alavia. Sorry. Okay, so sometimes it's hard for me to know what the right pronunciation is. I'm sorry in advance.
It's
Okay.
okay.
Why don't we need to write here again this part?
Come again?
Why, for example, we don't need to write here and the score is less than 90 in the second row. If we only write score greater and equal 80, why don't we need to write also this additional part here, additional second part of the condition?
Because there is if elif structure is checked up from top to bottom,
Yes.
and once the condition is met, the rest are skipped.
Okay, or in our case, for example, if the score is greater and equal 90 is false, okay, then we already know when we come, because it's from top to bottom, we already know when we are here that it cannot be greater than 90, otherwise this would be true. So this is not necessary, okay? We know that when we are here, we are actually checking whether the score is between 80 or 90. And if this is false, and we come here, we know that we are checking between 70 and 80. So no need to actually add again the condition from previous falses, okay? That's more optimal and it's much more beautiful code. Okay. Logical operators. So we have or and not. Okay, so when we talk about, where are they? Okay, just to see them. Here. Okay, so this is small. So, and, or, and not. Okay? Which one has the highest priority? Malo, Chlorene. Which one has the highest priority?
Could you repeat which one has the
highest priority? When you would combine these three operators, which one would be executed the first one or checked the first one, parsed the first one? This is like a high school math, probably the first year.
Yeah, I can guess it.
Is it or?
It should be and, isn't it?
No, not. The first one is the negation. Okay, that's like in math, you say minus something. This will be the first expression that will be validated, parsed. Then the second one is and. And is like division and multiplication in math.
Yeah.
And the third one is or, which is like plus or minus. Okay, so also in that order, the conditions are parsed. So if we say here, thank you, Malo. If you say here h greater and or equal 18 and has license, so in order this to be true, this has to be true and this has to be true. Do you agree? If I say here or, only one of them has to be true in order this to be true. Okay? And if I say, okay, so this one is not the correct, but let's say not, okay? Not is the reverse, okay? H greater than not 18, okay? No, this is not the correct one, but I'm just trying to make a statement here, okay? It's like minus in like negation, minus x, okay? This is like, I have 5, but actually I'm setting the -5. This is the first expression that will be validated. So when I'm combining conditions, okay? So for example here, if I say here or, okay, so what will be the order in which the conditions will be validated, parsed? Zhang Yaning.
Yes.
Okay, so what will be the order?
Sorry, can you repeat it?
So what will be the order in this case? In which the conditions here will be validated, parsed, checked. So for example, if I ask you, will a person who is like 16 years old and doesn't have a good credit will be loan approved? So a 16-year-old person with not a good credit, will a loan be approved or not?
Not.
Why not? Why is this whole statement here false? First, this will be checked because we have and. and the age is less than 18, so this is false. This one will be false. This one will be true. But because we have and, this is false. And then we have false and then or, and this one is also false. So both of the statements are false. So according to the or, this is false altogether. Do you remember? What about if a person age 16 with a good credit, Zhang, will that person get the loan or not? So 16-year-old person with a good credit score. Will the loan be approved or not?
Sorry. Loan approved.
No, it will be. It will be.
Yeah, it will be loan approved. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, why? Because, okay, this is false. Still false.
Yeah.
But this one is true. But because we have or,
Yeah.
the whole condition is true. Okay? So when you will do a programming, when you will program, be careful when you are actually when you are doing this, how you will combine, you know, like of course, this would completely change if you would do something like this. Okay, what about now? If a 16-year-old person with a good credit, but the income is 20,000 euros, will he or she get the loan approved or not? So it has a good credit, 16 years old, 20,000 euros.
Approved.
Okay, so this one will be true, but this one will be false. So because here now we have and, we have false and true, it is false. So not approved. Because we did the brackets. Okay? We did the brackets. Okay, now so here are your exercises. Please do the exercises. Please do them. Really, do them. Okay, we will prolong a little bit today, okay? For about 10 minutes. Is that okay? Now let's go to loops. We talked about loops a lot. Now we just go to the more the loops where we have breaks. Okay. So what does a break mean? So break means that whatever you are doing, you will stop doing it immediately and go out of your loop, okay? You stop working whatever you're doing and you go out of the loop. Now let me do the annotation. And let's see what we get. Okay. This is find first even number. So number 1, the first element will go. This is a modulo operator. Okay, so 1 modulo 2 is equal to 0. Yes or no? Is this true or false? One modulo 2 equal to 0. Is it this true or false?
False.
False. So it will not go here. It will print this one, okay? Because this is on the same level as if. Do you agree? Okay. Then the number 3. False. It will print this one. Number 5. false, it will print this one. Okay? Now we come to number 4. And this one is then true. Okay? It will print out found even number and the 4 here. And then the break. Break means bye-bye loop and it goes outside. And then it will print loop ended. Do you agree? Okay, break means stop, end, Schluss. Okay? Now let's go down. Okay, then we have the continue. The continue means just stop executing all the commands that come after continue and go back into the loop. What does that mean? Okay, so here it means print only the odd number. So the first one will be 1. Is this true or false?
False.
False, okay. So it will go and it will print odd, okay? Then we have number 2. This is true. It will come to continue, okay, which is on the same level as if, and it will go back into the loop. So if this would be break, break would go outside, okay? The continue goes back into the loop, but it doesn't go down, okay? If there would be something else, this wouldn't be done. So in that case, print is not done because it goes directly back into the loop. And so on, so on. So we get printed the odd numbers. Do you agree? Do you understand? How many thumbs are up regarding this? 1. Only 1. Okay. 2. I really hope that you understand this because these are these important essentials for manipulation with data. When you will get the data, input data, and you will do some kind of manipulation, especially with, for example, JSON format, and you will do the manipulation. You will do, okay, break, this is first error, or continue, skip all others. Elise, are you using break and continue in your line of work?
Break, yes, but continue, I never use it.
Okay. Okay, so we have nested loops. Check this on your own. You have exercises, okay? Then we have a while loop, okay? In the while loop, we have one important stuff, this one. You have to take care of the condition. If you will not take care of the condition, you will be stuck in infinite loop. So in this case, we start with count equal to 1. Then here we have a condition. Okay? So the first pass, this is true. We go into the while loop. We print count is 1. We increase the count to 2. So we go back. Okay? Once we come to 5, it's still okay because it's less or equal. And it will go, count is 5, it will be printed. Do you agree? Then it will go to the 6. When the 6, this is false and the loop has ended, okay? The loop has ended. If you do not include the count plus 1, the count will be always 1. That means that you will be stuck in infinite loop. Okay. Now let's do some practical applications of this, so that this is already, let's say, a little bit of programming, but very, very simple basics. For example, this is the example of the countdown. So we import the time module, and in the time module, we have a sleep, which stops executing the command for 1 second. Okay, so what are we having here? So we say countdown 5. So while the countdown is greater than 0, we print countdown. Okay, so that means this is the F string. First it will be 5 and then 3 dots. Okay, so this is done in a simple way. I will make it simpler. Count down -1. Okay, so the first, then so the countdown is 5. That's okay. This will be printed. Then the countdown is changed to 4. We wait for 1 second. Then we go back to check the condition. The countdown, we have countdown 4, still true. We print 4. We change to 3. We wait for 1 second, and we go until the countdown is equal to 0. Then this is false. So we go lift off. Now let's do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lift off. Okay? So you see, very simple. I mean, do you understand this code now? Then, do you understand this code? I hope. Okay. Here we have asking until the valid input. While the password is not equal to the secret 123, okay? The input always shows us that little field, you know, like at the bottom, and the output of the input function is always string. It's always string. In that case, when I run this, okay, when I say 1, 2, 3, it says wrong password, try again, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. Wrong password, enter password again. I say secret 1, 2, 3, access granted. I mean, the actual password manager is done in the same principle, but of course there are hashes, you know, like, I mean, it's not like a plain text because this can be cracked immediately. So here we have the menu system. Until our choice is different from free, the menu will say hello, say goodbye, exit. So when I press 1, because we always get back string, so if I press 1, okay, this will be true, and this will be printed, okay? And then it will go back to the while here, and this will be true, and this will be printed, okay? And it will wait here. So if I press 1 and say enter, okay? So you see it says hello, again menu, and then if I say 2, it says goodbye. And if I press 3, okay, so then this one will be printed and this one will be false. So we will go to this one. Guessing game, okay? I am choosing the random number between 1 and 10, and I have the number of attempts. Okay. Now let's guess the number. So I will say 5. That's too low, and then I will say 7. Too low, 9. Too low, then 10. Okay, so you see, this was, let's say, guessing game that was done only with a simple random that we already are familiar. You are familiar with the while loop and the if statements. That's it. Okay, so yeah, this one is also just that if you combine the while and the else, and if you use the break, then also this one isn't printed. So you entirely skip what is part of the block. Okay, so in that case, if you you will have a break, you will not go here. No, you go out. Okay, you go out. Okay. That's it. You don't need to know list comprehensions. This is too advanced. You will do this with Giacomo. Okay. If you are interested, you can study this on your own, but definitely this is not something that I would expect. List comprehensions are actually for loops, but in a very optimized way. You don't need to know this. You can study it on your own, but just that you know that exists. Elise, have you ever used list comprehensions?
No, I never use it.
You see, this is a classical for loop. Okay, when we have on 2, and the list comprehension is like this. Much more optimized way of executing for loop. So if you will, I don't know, want to optimize your code and you have many for loops, you can switch them to list comprehensions. It's much quicker. Now, okay, so this is it. Now let's just talk about the VS Code. Okay, so you all installed the VS Code. You have it? You installed the Python, I presume. Also? Okay, let me just remove this. Okay. In VS Code, here we have the extensions. Okay, so I've installed also the Gemini Code Assist. And also, please install the GitHub Copilot. These 2 extensions. And also the extension Jupyter. Okay, so you just go to here and find the Gemini and just install it. Okay, then you will have to sign in and connect to your Google account. Do this at home. Also for the Jupyter. Okay, install the Jupyter, that one. Extension. Okay. So in VS Code, actually when you open a folder, that folder is actually treated as project. Okay, so for example, if I open a folder and go to the Jupyter notebooks, then this is treated as my folder, as my project. Okay, So here I have my Jupyter notebooks. I can open them. Okay. Like this. So again, you see we have play, just like in the Google Colab. We have here codes, markdown, okay, just like in Google Colab. And I will write the libraries that you have to install till next time. Okay? So you will go, how you will install the libraries. Currently, your VS Code runs under the global Python installation. So in my case, if I go under the terminal, so if I click on the terminal and click new terminal, I can, for example, Python, just click Python and see I have a very old version of Python. Just make sure that your Python, when you launch Python, that you will get Python also in your VS Code in the terminal. Okay? Let me exit. So once you will install all the extensions, as I said, Gemini and GitHub Copilot. And I will also specify which libraries, and I will write your command. So you will write here like this, pip, and then you will say install pandas, numpy, matplotlib. Okay, you will list. I will write you which libraries you have to install, and then you just press enter, and that now will actually install the libraries. But I have, like I will have to update my Python installation because 3.10 is very old. I will go to 3.14 or something, though the current version is 3.15. So you install it like this. Okay, so these are already more advanced commands. Pip install and then the name of the module. Okay, then we will continue from in VS Code next time. Okay, because you have spoken. Majority of you decided that you want to switch to VS Code. Because VS Code will be definitely the environment where you will work your data science, okay? You will work not in Google Colab, you will work in VS Code. Elise, in which EDE are you working?
VS Code.
Okay, so you are familiar with this environment.
Yes.
Okay, and are you using the GitHub Copilot?
No, never.
What about the Gemini Code Assist in GitHub Copilot?
I don't use Gemini before. I just become to use it this year.
Aha, you mean like from 2 days ago? No.
No, just since September, last
Aha,
September.
okay. So you actually print Control Shift and P, and then you specify Gemini Code Assist, and you can then, for example, if I go like this and press Control Shift and P, Gemini Code Assist, and then I can say explain this, and then it will come here and will now start explaining the code. Okay. I think that which version is running, I have no idea. Probably 2.5 Flash or probably 2.5 Flash. Yeah. Okay, so now everything is explained here, you see, in VS Code. It's more, let's say, more extensive explanation of what I would say compared to the Google Colab. Probably. That's why this will be very useful when we will use VS Code. So please make sure that everyone has VS Code. If you will have too many troubles, then we'll switch back to the Google Colab, okay? Otherwise, some people can work in Google Colab, the others can work in VS Code. I don't really care. But my idea is that probably you should adapt to one of the more these IDEs because they will be used in your lines of work, okay? In your line of work, so this is probably VS Code. And that's it. Oh, I'm recording.